Hello, welcome to another video. This one, as the previous ones, my paint room's been completely packed away now, so I'm being relegated to the study to do these things. Obviously, the majority of the figures have all been packed as well, so options for doing stuff are a little bit limited. However, this one is on a couple of relatively new ranges from packs of figures from Empress. It was my birthday recently, and my wife and two lads bought us some figures, so that's what this is going to be about. A couple of packs of the new Brummie Militia from the very British Civil War range by Empress, and also Empress's new Australian SAS for Vietnam. Other thing I briefly wanted to mention, Sam B noticed a flash illuminator behind us. I'm having to move stuff around. He'd obviously noticed the top of this, which is an ornament of mine, which I have in my study. So well done, Sam, for spotting it. To be honest, I'd forgot it was there when I moved the chairs around. Anywho, we'll get on with having a look at the figures. As normal, I'll put links to whatever we're talking about in the video description. And as normal, if you've got any questions, just shout up. Okay, so we'll get down to the table, have a look at the figures. Right, so as I mentioned in the introduction, it was my birthday recently, and my two sons and my good lady managed to get us some figures. Asked for them not to get a massive amount, because obviously with the move it's been a little bit problematic. Anyway, first off, I got a couple of packs from Empress, what they call Brummie Militia. Obviously everyone knows what they're supposed to be. We'll have a look at the individual figures. Obviously, gangster types from Birmingham, just after World War I, 1920s. This guy, who looks a bit like Cillian Murphy, Paul Hicks, has just done an absolutely stonking job on these. The faces even look like who they're supposed to be. So he's got a Thompson submachine gun with a drum magazine on, obviously long coat, peaked cap, wearing a suit, just absolutely cracking sculpt, really, really nice. What I was thinking with these, we've got the Chicago way, which is sort of the follow-on to Dead Man's Hand by Great Escape Games, which is for gangsters in America, but it'll be, well, there's nothing to convert really, it'll just be different terrain to use it to do sort of Peaky Blinders games, I suppose. So that's that figure, really nice sculpt. Second one is this guy with a Lewis machine gun. Again, really, really nice super work by Mr. Hicks. Can't really pick a fault with it. Unfortunately, that's always the case with his figures. He's absolutely, well, he's certainly my top sculptor at the moment. He's the anything he does, I always have to have a look at, because even if I'm not interested in it, they're just so well done. Really, really nice. So a guy with a sterling. This is a female wearing a very smart suit. So I think it's based on maybe it's Polly from Peaky Blinders. I think that's who it's supposed to be. Again, unusual, but really, really nicely done. You can see the females are sort of, the frames noticeably smaller, and Paul's done a cracking job. Again, really, really nicely done. Really, really good. She's got obviously glasses on. I think it was an episode where she wore dark glasses, if I remember rightly. I'm assuming that's what he's based it on. Last one in this pack is another figure of a upmarket lady holding a Webley This is obviously meant, I can't remember the character's name in Peaky Blinders. Polly, is it? The sister? Anyway, again, usable for all sorts, but really, really nicely done. So that's, I think that's pack one. The second pack, just open these up. Right, so here we've got a guy with Lee Enfield and SMLE, number 3 Mark 1, so it's the standard British Army World War I bolt action rifle. Peak cap on again. If you look, I don't know if you can see. I think this is the guy. He's actually got a cigarette in his mouth. You can just see it there. I mean, beautifully sculpted. Just really, really tip top. Nice to see the sling on the rifle. And again, weapons, the weapon details, excellent, spot on, really looks like what it's supposed to be. Cracking figure, really nice. Obviously, very British Civil War stuff like that. I think that's the range it's actually that they're actually in. So that was the first one in the second pack. This guy sort of with a revolver advancing. Thing I like about this is the stance. You see how he's got this rear leg swapped over behind slightly. It's just anatomically it's excellent. They really are good. It's I would imagine, although I don't know, in relation to sculpting, I think things like this with anatomy, I think it'll be a case of you can either do it or you can't, and it's whether it's sort of second nature to Paul when he's sculpting to get them in the right position. But it's a really nice looking figure, really, really good. Third one, this guy again with a bolt action rifle. This character I think is the gypsy guy in the canal boat. I can't remember. Again, it's a while since I've seen it. I've seen all the seasons, but I cannot remember the individual characters. I think this was the guy who was Littlefinger in Games of Thrones, the actor. Again, looks really like him. Just bags of character, really nicely done. And the last one is obviously Tom Hardy. Again, cracking, faultless sculpting. Looks like who he's supposed to be. The character looks like they're just really, really well done. Very, very nice. So that was the Brummie Militia figures. Right, next up, the last 2 packs that I got were the 2 new packs of Australian SAS for Vietnam from Empress. They looked really, really nice when I saw them online. However, when I got them in the metal, absolutely blown away. Paul Hicks again, just absolutely phenomenal. So I'll go through the figures one at a time. So this guy here, weapon details lovely. So obviously M16 M203 combination. He's got a headband on, sweatband on, multiple water canteens, which is always good to see. I've read a reasonable amount about the Australian SAS in Vietnam, and I've seen quite a few photos, and Paul Hicks and obviously Paul Eagleston at Empress have obviously done their research, and they're absolutely spot on. Really, really good. Just exactly if I'd thought up some 28mm SAS miniatures, these would have been them, to be perfectly honest. So that's the first figure. Second figure, they come in packs of 6. Guy Nealon firing an SLR. Interestingly and quite accurately with the Australian SAS, they had squadron workshops attached to them, and they did sort of quite major alterations to the weapons. This guy, he's got the longer 30-round magazine on, which is like the LMG magazine in the British Army. Used that. it's quite common to take the flash eliminator off the barrel to shorten the barrels. Also got a pistol grip on, that was common, and they also used to shorten the gas regulator. Primarily they did this, obviously, jungle warfare. SLR is quite a long weapon, and that was the theory behind it. He's also got a field dressing taped to the butt, which was nice to see. Again, weapon accurate, lots of water bottles, which is the way it would be. Scrim scarf, net and scarf on. He's got a boonie hat on, that where the brim's been cut down. This was quite a common thing to do. I was in Hong Kong and Brunei in the mid 80s, and that was like quite an early thing to do. That's what you had to do to look more switched on. But all these little bits really add to the figures. Cracking little figure, and the anatomy, the position he's in, excellent. Right, and what we've got here is a guy with a Squadron Armory modified M60. So you can see the barrel's been shortened, the plastic furniture's been taken off, got a pistol grip on the front. Cracking. The bit they used to remove on the M60 was where the bipod attached, so they'd cut that section out and reattach it and do various things. Again, shortens it to make it more effective. He's got a berry on. Uniform wise, they wore quite a lot of things, so you could have them in tiger stripes, the American Hurdle, which is it's a bit like the predecessor to Woodland pattern. He's got a nice little Bergen on, or an Arvin rucksack. Again, lots of water bottles, and the stance of the figure. Interestingly as well, I've noticed the hair was a little bit longer on these figures, which would be quite common, but the facially excellent, really, really nice figures. And this fourth guy here. So this is very interesting. This is a field conversion of the SLR. So it's basically, he's got obviously the 30 round magazine on. They would do things like obviously remove all the swings, put my teeth in, sling swivels, carrying handle get taken off, flash suppressor would be removed. It's had a bit of a barrel chop as well. And underneath they've added the XM148, the 40mm grenade launcher. Seen a photo of this because initially when I heard about it I thought, oh, I'm certainly obviously never saw that in the British Army, but obviously on operations things change, and they were there for quite a while, and it's I've seen a photo, so it's obviously accurate. Scrim net scarf on, again water bottles, just really, really nice, and things like this really show that they've as well as you would expect from Empress. And also Paul Hicks is the sculptor. They're really, really accurate. So that's a cracking, really nice figure. And the last one in this pack, I got this guy up. So he's another guy with an M16 with the XM148 grenade launcher. Before anyone says, oh, the barrel of the M16's missing, it's not. Again, another field modification. They used to do a barrel chop. Basically, the reason for the advantages in close quarter combat, what you obviously do, you haven't got a flash suppressor, so it massively increases the muzzle flash and also the noise. In an ambush situation designed to intimidate the opposition, basically. Big bangs, massive muzzle flash, lots of 2-3 rounds going down, and that's why they did it. Perfectly accurate. Again, he's got a first field dressing attached to the butt. Little Bergen on. Again, lots of water bottles, as would expect. Shortened brim on his hat. Really, really nice figure. So that's the first pack. The second pack, there's 2 packs in total. We've got this guy here, who's obviously got gain modified SLR, no flash suppressor on, 30 round mag, light equipment order, got all his water bottles on, patrolling stance, really, really nice. This guy coming up next, probably my favourite of the two packs. Guy patrolling, M16, taped the magazines together, which is why it's so flat for a sort of a quick change. Nicely shown that you quite often see in films where they'll tape the magazine upside down to the mag that's in the weapon. A complete no-no, really, because if you go prone, what happens is the bottom of the magazine, which is open with the rounds, goes into the dirt. The rounds get covered in crap. You swap the magazine over and you immediately get a stoppage. So it was better to do it that way. So he's got, as I say, got this M16. He's also got an M79 grenade launcher strapped to his side. Little Arvin rucksack on, water bottles, the right cut for the trousers, the pockets are in the right place, seams are in the right place, sweatband on. Absolutely stonking figure. Really, really impressed with these, and I'm really looking forward to painting them. They're absolutely spot on. Third guy of the second pack. Again, SLR, you can see the pistol grip, 30 round mag. This guy's a radio operator, so the PRC 25 radio. Empress do give you an antenna, white metal antenna. I'd probably make my own, just because I like to, basically. But they do supply it, which is good as a standoff. But again, absolutely faultless figure. Sculpting's brilliant. The stance is good. The walking stance, all the proportions are right. Weapons are lovely. Equipment's great. Really, really nice. This guy who has got the sort of the Patchett or Sterling silenced submachine gun. I think the Australian SAS actually ordered these from the UK during the conflict. Well, for obvious reasons, when you know, ambushes and patrols. I don't know how sort of popular it was. Obviously 9mm rounds, quite low power, low velocity, and certainly my experience of it wasn't, the weapon was okay, but I tended to like big bullets rather than 9mm. Anyway, having said that, again, cracking figure, rucksack on, water bottles, really, really nice. He's done an absolutely stonking job. And last off is, that's just a bit of bleed on the front of the barrel. For me, this guy who's got field modified M60 again, rucksack, M72 low, shoved to the back, water bottles. What is nice to see is that the belted ammo is in the nylon cover, which in sort of these conditions was really, really important. If you carried the belted ammunition bare and you go prone, especially in jungle conditions, again, mud and crap over the link. When you come to put it in the gun and start firing, you get stoppages, which is never a good thing. But absolutely brilliant figures, faultless. 10 out of 10 for Mr. Hicks, and also for Empress for knocking them out. Really, really nicely done. Right, so in relation to painting and sort of the history behind it, first recommendation is probably this Osprey, 28mm ANZAC SAS, by Kevin Lyles. Absolutely great book. Kevin Lyles is probably one of my favourite military artists. This guy's a blinking genius when you look at his plates. Quality of photographs, absolutely superb. He's also done the text of the book, which is really thorough. It's a standard Osprey, so it covers, you know, the basic stuff. Certainly for the price, it's a great, absolutely great introduction. And he does, there's some really nice photos, and that's a classic Australian SAS pick. But he does a really, the plates are up to his normal standard. This obviously covers the standard infantry as well. There is a double page spread on the SAS, which you can't fault. Absolutely tip top, first class. So if you're looking for something, if you buy the figures and you're looking for you know, some technical advice about how to paint them, you're really, for the price, you can't go wrong with this. So I'd certainly recommend that. Right, so there we have a little view of some birthday presents. Empress Paul Hicks sculpts, faultless. You can't really say much. Absolutely 10 out of 10. Really, really nice figures. So if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber, have a think about subscribing. You can do it from the main channel page, or at the end of the video in the bottom right hand corner, there's a button that will appear disguised as a 28mm Empress Modern British Infantryman. Click on that and that gets you subscribed. Probably for the next few weeks, your house move's now absolutely imminent. We're just waiting on a day. So I'll probably be, this will be the sort of thing I'll be doing for the next couple of weeks. Some book reviews. Next up, when I was at the show, Border Reaver, Hellion were there, which is one of my favourite military book publishers. And I got a couple of little purchases there, which we'll maybe review and have a look at next. Okay, so once again, thanks very much indeed for watching, and we'll see you next time.